Welcome to Brave Healer Productions. It's time to experience what's possible. So, what do you think is the difference between an ordinary thinker and a visionary thinker? So, welcome everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, where we are helping the world experience what's possible. And here today to help me with that mission is one of our visionary, badass people in my world who will be inspiring us to do other level things. She is a partner in our 100th book celebration. Dinahsta, Miss Kiane Thomas, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, Laura. It's always a pleasure to talk and hang out with you.
Well, I feel the same about you, and I'm excited about our partnership. And we're going to talk a little bit about it, but let me just tell you a little bit about Miss Kiane. She is an author, performer, and safe space facilitator. Graduated from Morgan State University with a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and earned a Master's of Social Work degree from Howard University. As a professional helper, Dinahsta seeks to meld her profession and her passion to help others access healing, empowerment, and growth through the power of poetry, reflective writing, and creative expression. As a result, in 2019, she established a nonprofit called the InkWELL. And you guys, the InkWELL is Brave Healer Productions' nonprofit partner, and it has been for a while. I'm honored to sit on the board of the InkWELL, to get to know Dinahsta at next levels and really what she was up to. And when she described it the first time that I met her, she talked about bringing therapeutic writing programs to the youth and to the youth in our DC metro area specifically. But now I know your programs are kind of rippling out into other states and other places. Tell us a little bit about that mission that you had when you founded the nonprofit.
Sure. I mean, you captured it very well. It was the idea of helping people, particularly young people, but all people, find their voice as it pertains to healing and awareness, and doing so through this medium of writing creatively and reflectively, whether that's journaling, whether that's poetry, a short story. It was something that I used as a young person to kind of muddle through loss. And I thought, how can we bring this concept to a broader, platform to heal and to begin to mitigate some of the woes of our society, right? School shooting, cutting, suicide. These are things that it's not the panacea to all, but I'm a firm believer that if we have a proper outlet, we can begin to intervene in some of these negative coping mechanisms. And that's the heart of the matter. Yeah.
So you guys might be able to guess that, like, if I hear healing and writing in the same sentence, I'm like leaning in to try and figure out what you're up to in the world, right? And so this partnership just felt so perfect to me in terms of what we are up to with our publishing, which is more than publishing. This journey is a healing journey, and we can bring that kind of vibe to the world in a bigger way. Then those partnerships are a big deal to me. Collaboration brought this company to being able to celebrate its 100th project. Dinahsta, what has collaboration meant for you? Thank you for that. For you and your business.
It has meant the concept of augmenting, expanding. It has, for me, visually, it creates this visual of the extension of arms. Like as a visionary, there's an outline, there's an overarching concept. But when you collaborate, you extend your body, and that now you can reach into places that by yourself you're not able to necessarily reach, or you're not as effective. So it means extension, it means growth and augmentation, but it also means partnership and friendship and relationship. Uh, and educating yourself, because you are someone who has skill sets, knowledge of things beyond what I know, right? And so if I'm connected, then I can grow, I can learn as well. So that stretching is not just the organization, but it's also personal stretching, right? And augmentation. Collaboration is very important. No man is an island. We don't do this thing of greatness or healing in silo. And so that's what collaboration means for me.
I love it. The talk of extension gave me the vision of the Incredibles. Yes, I
Yes.
love that. But yeah, but it creates bigger energy. It creates bigger opportunity, bigger everything, really.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. Okay. What do you want to share as what you think it might be the most important business growth tip with our audience?
Business growth tip. Hmm. I think, and this is something I'm ever learning, so forgive me if I pause here, but I think right now one of the biggest growth tips is really back to that collaboration. For me, I think we had a board meeting last week, and I left that meeting so filled because it was the synergy that took place in that hour and a half meeting. And I remember walking away thinking, the things on my checklist felt checked versus I didn't feel like I was lacking. And I realized as a business owner, as a visionary, going back to that collaboration, it is important to connect yourself and your business, your idea, your vision. It's like a puzzle, right? Connecting and plugging in to the right places and not being afraid to do that. In our world, we can be very, territorial. This is my idea, my vision. I don't want to share it. Somebody may steal it. But if you're going to grow and if your business is going to be successful and success is really accomplishing the vision at hand, that's what success is for me. If it's going to be that, then connecting and collaborating, synergizing, partnering, that's a very important part of business growth and development and effectiveness. And so taking the time to be intentional about who you're connecting with, how you're connecting, investing in that connection. That's a very key component to growth.
I like the way that you put that, investing in the connections. Uh, you can't, it's impossible to connect with everyone, and you wouldn't want to. When you're really investing in the connection and vetting the most aligned connections, I think magic can be made there. So I like
Most
listening to the way you're talking about it. I also loved my checklist felt checked. Yes, I was in that meeting and I loved that meeting because of the connection.
yeah,
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 it was awesome.
yeah, most definitely.
And you are a person that brings people together like that, both with your energy and just the different kind of way you're how do I want to say this, you're so good at seeing and hearing people.
Mhm.
And so when that is mirrored to someone immediately, I don't know, for me it's a heart feeling. So like I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel like I belong.
Yeah,
And you're just really good at that, and I am grateful to
thank you.
you for that. I remember, you've heard me say this a couple of times. You saw me the day you invited me to come do my poet thing
Mm,
at Busboys, and I'm like, this is okay, this is this feeling, right? I'm having this feeling, and I love that about you. I still love that about you.
thank you so much.
When um when I positioned my company as one that gives back,
Yeah.
things shifted.
Mm,
The InkWELL and that partnership is a powerful force in the way I do business. The
mhm,
vision got bigger. My why shifted and evolved
mhm.
into
Yeah,
something that really, you guys have heard of that book, 10X is better than 2X, right? It 10X'd my vision. I'm like, whoa, okay, I
yeah,
get this now. So for you, like, why is giving back important? Why partner like that?
sure.
Seems
I
obvious, but
Right. No,
I,
that's a good point. I
yeah.
think for me it's a principle, what do you call it? A part of my core values, right? As a woman of faith, I was raised in a religious home. I use the word religious because that's what people understand, but I was raised in a home where we were big on faith, faith in God, if you will. And part of the principles about our faith is sowing and reaping. There is a principle of sowing and reaping. And we give, and sometimes we give because there's this mindset of, oh, if I give, I'll get back. And that's a principle. You put some seed in the ground, it's gonna come out. That's a principle. You can't get over that. But I think there's something powerful that giving back is important because it is a part of the for lack of better words, the life cycle, right? If I'm giving back, then it pushes this circular thing where now I'm also able to receive what I need and even what I want. And it's not a selfish thing. It's an ongoing thing. It's a thing of life for me. It's a life source. And it's also a core value. I was very much raised that way, to believe that way, to give that way. I was raised in a household where I watched a woman make brown bag lunches for homeless people out of her own pocket. I watched that. I saw that. And so it was kind of ingrained. As a business owner, yes, you want to make money. Yes, that's a principle. And I struggle with that because I'm a passionate person, a heart person. That doesn't always get you the money, right? But I'm a firm believer that if I follow the heart of the matter, if I'm being led by love and not by greed, then all that I need will come back to me. It's a good seed put in the ground and it will come back to me. So giving back is a life source. It's how life continues. If you give, you will receive what you need to live and give again, right? So it's a principle for me. And I think it's applicable in business if properly harnessed to make sure there's a balance there. I think it's a great principle even in business as well.
Definitely it is. And again, you're giving me the feels with your answer. Core values are super important and they follow you through your life, don't they?
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Some of those visuals you just gave me about that.
Yeah.
So, the amazing people in this interview series, present company included, these
Yes.
visionaries. I invited y'all because you think in a way that helps your client's mindset. It helps them grow. You're helping people grow, learn, evolve, and transform with who you are and what you do in the world. So, first of all, thank you for being somebody like that and someone like that in my life. And you've done that for me. I think that the best coaches have and need great coaches, right? So,
Exactly. On staff.
share one of the most powerful pieces of coaching you've ever received. What did that do for you?
Mm. One of the most powerful pieces of coaching, if you will, that I received um, was along the lines of agreeing and relaxing in my own authenticity, which includes quirks, idiosyncrasies, differences, weird things, whatever that is. But to relax in that and to embrace that, um, lean into that. And that's very important because it's begin to guide my process with the InkWELL, with myself as a spoken word artist, and other ventures that I make. There's a time in one's life you spend and all of us, that's human nature, to want to belong and want to be like everyone else and fit in, right? And there's nothing quite wrong with that by itself per se, but if it is a hindrance to your own authenticity and genuineness, then the world never gets to really know the wonder of who you are. You never get to have that experience. So that piece of coaching changed my life because the things that I despised because others seemed didn't like it or didn't fit in, and now I'm not despising it. I'm leaning into it. You said it well, as far as creating these safe spaces. When I began to realize it doesn't matter if I am on vacation trying to hide, someone is connecting with me and they find safe space with whatever I'm offering and whatever is not even what I'm offering, what is coming out of me, right? Even if I'm not trying. So I began to realize I don't have to despise that. I can lean into that. And how does that guide the business? How does that guide what I'm offering? How does that guide the give back? How does that guide the partnership? because that's the niche. And I don't have to be anything else but what I am. Leaning into that, investing in that, paying attention to that. So that piece of coaching, it liberated me because now, I'm not like that poet. I'm not like that nonprofit leader. I'm not like that person, but that's okay because I'm leaning into this place of authenticity. Um, because there's no one else that can be me but me, and there's no one else that can be you but you, and the world needs that specificity of Miss Kiane. The world needs the specificity of Laura DeFranco, not uh, a remake or a rebranded version of you, right? So that piece of coaching is liberating, and when you can lean into that, even in your business, I think you can create something awesome, a legacy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, you said it. Liberation is that feeling.
Yeah.
I wish I had pom poms right now that I could shake in the Zoom camera for you. Like, yes, all the things. Wait, maybe I can actually make that happen on my little Mac. Maybe it will do it. I don't know. See, oh, there we go.
Oh, there it
Okay,
is.
you got it.
Oh, cool.
You got the hearts. That was awesome. Um, all right. So you guys know that it is probably taking me everything I have to not ask her to do a poem because it's going to put her on the spot. And I know, see that face? She's like, she didn't ask me to do a poem today. Do you have anything? Do you have anything
Um,
you want to do?
I wasn't thinking of home.
I know, I know. It's
Um,
okay if you don't.
yeah, I think there's a segment, and I've done this
Yes.
so many times. It's a smidget because it encourages me. People
Okay,
love it.
good.
It encourages me.
That's perfect.
Um, and you have no idea how strong you are, how bold you are, how unlikely to fold you are. But while others are dropping and breaking, you are strong. You are unbendable. You are indispensable. You have no idea how strong you are. So just a smidget.
Oh, thank you. That was a gift. I hope y'all just let that in. I got goosebumps. Thank you for that. All right. If people want to get involved with the Inkwell, if they want to find out more, like what do you want to tell them?
Sure. Listen, I love this part of social media because it allows us to connect all over the world. If you want to connect with the Inkwell, you can follow on social media platforms at the Inkwell Project, both Facebook rather and Instagram. For those who are on X as well. Um, you can also find out more about who we are. Like some people are like, let me do some research at our website at www.theinkwellheals.com. We'll be doing some up branding to that as well. But the crux of what we do and who we are, you can find information there. You can find out how to donate there as well. And then, probably more of an open book than I maybe should be, but I'm very much open. So you can always reach out to me directly on social media, Dinahsta Kiane. I think it's maybe on the screen, Dinahsta Kiane. And we can connect. That's literally how I connect. People reach out to me directly and we do that. And we have wonderful board members as well who are great at marketing because their lives are fulfillment of what the vision of the Inkwell is all about too. So yeah.
Dinahsta, thank you so much for what you do in the world and for being here today to share it with everyone.
Thank you for having me and allowing me to share and always keeping me on my toes.
So, you guys, this is way more than a celebration that's coming up on May 31st. This is a generous community.
Yes.
And so, if you heard something today that resonated, maybe you've got a question, maybe you need a little support, you want to find out more, come on down to those show notes. I have the Inkwell hooked up with all of the things that we talked about today in terms of finding her on social. We really do hope to see you at the Brave Healer Productions 100th book celebration, networking, and give back event. And the Inkwell is who we're giving back to. So your ticket includes so many things. Get ready for your party box. Get ready for professionally moderated breakouts, writing and art exercises. We're going to have a best hat contest. Our visionary and multi-book lead author panels are going to inspire the out of you. Discounts on publishing. We're going to have a keynote by Kyle Cease. You guys, I could go on and on. And you're going to help me support the InkWELL with your ticket purchase. So please come on down, grab your ticket for that wonderful day. It's a virtual event. You can come from anywhere in the world. And lastly, today, everyone, remember your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So it's time to be brave. See you next time, everyone.